exactly he's excelling in this Baltimore offense. And of course, we're going to lay it out as the game unfolds. But I think the best way to break it down in the simplest way is you have a two-time former league MVP who is, by all accounts and measures, playing the best football of his career. And that's certainly saying something.
A lot of motion for Flowers on first down. Henry runs into a car. Doesn't matter. Bounce it to the outside across the 30. He'll pick up 6 on first down.
So this is going to be the cat and mouse game all day for this Houston Texans defense. You see these two high safeties. So conventional wisdom, Noah says, all right, you're coming in, you got Derrick Henry, you've got this historically explosive run game of the Ravens. You need to bring up as many guys into the box and get as many bodies. And actually, when you take a look at where the bulk of Derrick Henry's explosive runs come from, they actually come against those heavy box with one safety in the middle.
Houston's been pretty clear. They're willing to say, we'll let Derrick Henry beat us. Easier said than done. 2 carries and a first down for number 22.
Yeah, so one of the big challenges, again, of this run game is just the versatility. They've added a lot more outside zone. That's what Derrick Henry is comfortable with. He's one of the best downhill, stick his foot in the ground, get vertical runners that we've had in this generation. And it complements a lot of the existing run game that they had a lot of success with in Baltimore before Derrick Henry arrived this past offseason.
John Harbaugh has been really impressed by his willingness to adapt. And Lamar Jackson is sacked. First sack of the day goes to Houston. Tommy Togai puts him to the turf.
All right, so you hear people saying all the time, rush lane integrity. So they're going to bring 5 rushers, but watch the job they all do. Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson. See how they just compress the pocket? Nobody's getting deeper than Lamar. Nobody's getting inside to allow him to break contain. One of the biggest challenges of Lamar Jackson, he holds the ball for a long time, but he's very hard to get down on the ground. That's his magic.
Pass rush is going to be important. They wanted to get this Baltimore offense in the second and long. Jackson break contain. Push up the sideline. Lamar Jackson showing off the speed for a big gain and a first down.
Well, right on cue. So take a look here. They go inside move. Typically on these ETs, this 3-technique D tackle, someone has to set the edge of the pocket. They don't. Will Anderson goes inside, and that's where Lamar Jackson kills you. I mean, you come into these games and you worry so much about his runs and the design. He's actually running the ball less. Where he's really grown is as a passer, and haven't really asked him to do it yet so far here on this opening drive.
The ball came 86 yards away from Michael Vick's all-time quarterback rushing record. He picks up 25 on his first carry, and then Henry dives forward in front of this offensive line that has really protected well, that has blocked well for Henry, who's having another sensational season. You've got the rookie Roger Rosengard at right tackle, who has really impressed around the building as the season has gone on. And then, of course, just the weapons, the 2 tight ends and the wide receivers who just provide so much separation on those deep balls to go with the power running of Derrick Henry. Second down and 3 for this Baltimore offense on the move on the first possession of the day. Take it to the outside. It's Henry dancing through for the first down.
Yeah, I like what you said, Noah. You talked about this offensive line for the Ravens. You know, you talk about Lamar and Derrick Henry and all these skill guys. They've got 2 of the best wide receivers in the league, and in terms of generating open targets, their ability to separate downfield, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman. But it's this offensive line, their ability to both pass protect for a quarterback that's going to hold on for a while. He's going to encourage some pressure on himself, and then of course their versatility in this very complex run game that they've been able to put together.
Look like number 5. Rookie running back out of Marshall, Rasheen Ali in there. Sling it. Jackson connection. Flowers spins. First and goal. Amari Lassiter eventually makes the tackle, but that is a 27-yard pickup.
Yeah, so in terms of just creating separation downfield, no quarterback in the league throws to more open targets than Lamar Jackson, and Zay Flowers is a big reason. His development as a true route runner, his route tree has really grown early in his career, and That's the beauty of this offense. Everyone talks about the run game, but man, Lamar Jackson is as good of a pocket passer as anybody we have right now in the NFL.
7 plays, 4 first.
Touchdown, yeah.
Everything coming in for Houston was get a lead, play from the front, don't fall behind against this Ravens squad, and that's about as textbook of an opening drive. You talk about the opening string, Todd Monken. Going to talk a lot about the job he's done along with Lamar Jackson, just really the next evolution of this Baltimore offense since he got to town. And explosive runs, Lamar Jackson outside the pocket, Derrick Henry in the conventional run game, and big plays downfield. They really can do everything at a high level.
Henry has had some huge games against the Texans in his career as Tucker's extra point makes it 7-0, just a couple minutes into this game. Presented by Verizon Home Internet. Get fast, reliable coverage in every room. By Jeep Wagoneer S. And by Minute Maid Zero Sugar. Great taste, zero sugar. Oh, there was nothing to sugarcoat about that first Ravens drive. Just go right down the field, 8 plays, 75 yards under 5 minutes. Ran for 51. One of the best rushing teams, second in the league in rush yards behind Philly. And 5 of those 8 plays going to King Henry, who sits atop his throne with his first touchdown of the day. So now it's Houston's turn offensively. Pearson and Ogunbowale back to return with Tucker set to send it away and set up for C.J. Stroud's first look of the day. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions from Stroud last week in the loss at Kansas City Saturday, 27-19. Close battle with the now #1 seed in the AFC. Tucker boots it away. And this one will be a touchback for Houston.
And let's go back to the touchdown. We've talked how hard it is to stop this Baltimore offense. It's a lot harder when you run your 11th defender off the field. So I think there's a lot right now on the sideline that they've got to figure out, because it's one thing to stop Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson when you've got a full squad. When you got 10, you've got no shot.
Steve's got more.
Yeah, real quick, they brought their DBs off the field to go a heavy package, but clearly there's some confusion on that substitution that left them with 10 guys in play.
No question. You're saying that's bad?
Yeah, I don't think they should major in that. They talked a lot about how the scheme is a big factor today. They should eliminate that scheme.
First play, a handoff to Mixon, and like it's happened so many times this year, he gets walloped at the line of scrimmage by Roquan Smith. Well, C.J. Stroud, the biggest thing he mentioned this week has been avoiding that. 0 or negative plays on first down, and Stroud has had to really find ways to get away from second and long, third and long situations. Did it well at times last week, but also had the 2 turnovers.
Early down efficiency, that is the #1 metric. We're going to follow it all day long. They've gotten very little in the run game. I think on first and second down, that ball needs to be in Stroud's hand as much as possible.
Again, a run. Mixon will push the pile for maybe 2 instead of 3rd and 8.
Yeah, so again, you look at third down metrics and some of the struggles, it's very easy to look at C.J. Stroud after kind of that breakout performance his rookie year, the runaway offensive player of the year last year, and the question becomes, it's all about their inefficiencies on those early downs. They face the longest third down distance to go for a first down. Any team in the league, and it's got to be play action, first down, boots, actions. They haven't gotten a lot. They got to pass their way into the run game.
Of course, playing without Tank Dell, lost for the season last week with a knee injury. They'll go to their #1 target, Nico Collins on the slant for the first down. 13 yards to move the sticks.
We all saw, unfortunately, that injury last week to Tank Dell, losing him for the season, but Nico Collins, that is their go-to guy. C.J. Stroud, look at him early, often. He's a big body guy, Noah. He can make contested catches in breaking routes, and then he's also one of the rare guys that he can run that route tree and then still take the top off the defense and really put stress and layers into the secondary coverage. He's as good a wide receiver as we have in this league.
13 receiving touchdowns at home since last season. He only has 1 receiving touchdown in 11 road games since last year. Kyle Van Noy makes the tackle on Mixon for this Ravens defense. A Ravens defense that has played as well as anybody in the league over the last couple of weeks, and Van Noy is having a renaissance season, all-pro level type season. Roquan Smith, again, the leading tackler for this team, coming in with 136, but the back line has been the biggest difference, and it's been Kyle Hamilton moving positions. Darius Washington has been great next to him in a traditional safety role.
Yeah, and then the real key to this cog, you see Marlon Humphrey there at the slot.
Stover with his first catch, coming back after miss the last 2 games, and he gets taken down low early by Stevens.
Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins, the rookie, they're able to play him outside at corner. He's really gotten better, young, talented player. But now with Marlon Humphrey, he's like part linebacker, part safety, part corner, and it's just the versatility of him and Kyle Hamilton.
3rd down and 4 for Stroud, backing up.
Yeah. So one of the things this Houston offensive line has really struggled with is their ability to pick up these TE in these games. Baltimore doesn't rush much. You can see they go TE, and nobody allows unblocked defenders into the face of their quarterback at a higher rate than this Houston offensive line. And again, it goes back to they have to eliminate being in these passing downs. First down play action, throw it on early downs. Don't try to manage getting into third down because it's been a struggle all year long.
Tommy Townsend's going to send it away to Steven Sims, who was just picked up this week. The former Texan had a punt return touchdown in the divisional game against the Ravens and let it sail out of bounds. And we'll see where they mark this, somewhere around that 30-yard line. It'll be officially at the, still moving, at the 30. Trust your gut. That's really the Christmas spirit here. And the Christmas spirit being felt by the Ravens. The quick start offensively and defensively, looking to have their lead. WWE is coming to Netflix starting January.
Raw on Netflix.
Don't miss the heroes, the villains, the action, and the drama. Great day here in Houston. This was earlier. That is the
Good boy gift of the Judgment Day.
with the belt. I actually want to know if Jamie actually had a chance to try the belt on. I feel like Jamie could do anything she puts her mind to, including getting in the ring herself, if necessary. Another handoff, another gashing play. Derrick Henry to midfield. He is a one-man wrecking crew for 21 yards.
Again, we're seeing all the tricks in the bag. Watch Patrick Ricard. It's wham. So they're going to pull, get up, and they're going to actually trap from the outside in the defensive tackle. And they can just run the ball at you so many ways. And the entire goal. We talked to Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator. We just got to get Derrick Henry through the initial wave. He'll take care of the rest.
Henry again, big hole. Henry juke for 8. Did you say wham? Are you Last Christmas? Is that your jam, by the way?
I'm into it all. I'm into it all. But, you know, I think right now the question for Houston is, what's the change-up, right? You come into the game with a plan, and here we are in the second possession of the game for Baltimore, and they've had no answer predominantly for this ground game of Baltimore. So go bigger people. They're typically a nickel team. They want to have 5 defensive backs on the field. You see right now, they're going base with 5 down. That's the first adjustment we've seen so far for this Houston defense.
Already over 100 total yards for this Baltimore offense, and just nobody getting any bodies on Derrick Henry right now. It feels like everyone was wondering, would Derrick Henry still have that same production when he came to Baltimore? But the way that the lanes have opened up for him this season have been fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, and you have to consider, for the career that Derrick Henry has had, I mean, he's still the same back, even though he's on the plus side of 30. But the difference is he's averaging more yards before contact than at any point in his entire career. So you add a generationally talented back to an already good run game, and you see what that combination brings.
Likely the motion man, Ali in there for the injured Justice Hill. Another catch for Flowers, his second. He gets twirled down just in front of the 30-yard line against this Houston defense. A Houston defense that has embodied their head coach's style of play from his career. The 2 fantastic edge rushers in Hunter and Anderson. You've got Harrison To'oTo'o still playing without Azeez Al-Shaair, his 3rd and final game on the suspension after the hit on Trevor Lawrence. And the 2 rookies have been the standouts to a certain degree, along with Stingley in the back line, with Lassiter and Bullock really coming on strong for this team. But playing without Jimmy Ward, lost for the season last week, got foot surgery this week. Jalen Petrie already out for the season. Fatou Kassi also out for this game. And Ali gets tripped up in the backfield. Good penetration by this Houston defense. That time Dylan Horton got home.
Okay, so now that's the second time now that they've built this 5-man front. So what you're able to do is you can really set the edges and force everything to get vertical. So D'Amico Ryans, head coach, defensive play caller, nice adjustment here after they didn't really have many answers on the ground early in this first quarter.
Forget no answers. This is the first 3rd down this Baltimore offense is facing.
Yeah, you know what the best 3rd down offense in the league? Don't get to 3rd down. There's no notion about you getting 3rd and manage. Well, those days are over.
It'll be Jackson to the air, swing it to the sideline, incomplete, a little too far in front of Zay Flowers. 4th and 9, upcoming.
Worth noting, you mentioned all the injuries that they've had. Just Zay Flowers again, good separation, ball just a little too far to the boundary. Jeff Okudah, their 3rd outside corner. No, he's going to play a lot more today in their nickel passing situations. You mentioned the young rookie Kamari Lassiter. They're going to use him more inside at nickel. Petrie, Jimmy Ward, they're really struggling at that nickel spot due to injury.
A lot has been made of the season Justin Tucker has had, but
Made the field goal. Yeah.
last week he found a rhythm, and he starts here today with a 50-plus yarder. 52 out to make it 10-0 for the most accurate kicker in NFL history. Under 3 to play in this first. 2 possessions on course, aerial coverage is brought to you by Ford, right here at NRG Stadium, a place that Houston has performed quite well through the season. The numbers have been far better at home than they have been on the road for a team that's heading back to the playoffs for the second consecutive year, but find themselves in a 10-0 hole. Was that David Letterman? I feel like we've seen 6 Santas already today.
Well, disappointed they may get a little something out of you.
No?
Little Santa hat.
Yeah, I thought, you know, I
still,
thought maybe,
it's about the game and it's about Beyonce.
It's also, you've commented how great my hair has been all week.
If I were you, I would never wear a hat.
That's the key. That's the key. Up second set, and the Grinch. It's a battle from across the way here at NRG Stadium. We'll see if this Houston offense can kick it into gear in front of their home fans. 2:47 to play in this opening quarter with another touchback from Justin Tucker. A new way to ring in the new year. Nashville's Big Bash. Live on CBS with Kane Brown, Jelly Roll, Post Malone, Coach Keith Urban, and more. Nashville's Big Bash, live on CBS, New Year's Eve. So all this talk, again, about the Baltimore offense, we've seen why, the first 2 possessions. But their defense has been outstanding. It's hard to game plan against this group.
It is, and they're the best run defense in football, and they're both equally good at stopping it, but there's also the conversation around they face the second fewest rush attempts, and we're going to get into why, and it's kind of an interesting conversation.
Play action on first down. Stroud thrown over the middle and caught by Collins.
So there you go. So that's the first down pass that we're talking about on the opening drive. It was 2 first down runs, but to continue that conversation, you bring up a great point, Noah. Everyone just assumes when these offensive coordinators base their game plan that they're only solely focusing on the defense of the opposing team. And when you're playing Baltimore and you're Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator for Houston, you're also taking heavily into account just how good Baltimore's offense is. And you're in a race to 30 points. You can't hand the ball off that much.
So go right back to the air and a big hit. Dalton Schultz couldn't reel it in. Washington was right there to level it up.
Yeah, something we're seeing a little different here early. I just love seeing trends. Just pause a little off target there, but I just love following the trends because they change every single week. Coming into this game, Baltimore's defensive strategy has been play Kyle Hamilton deep, play 8-man spacing, 7-man spacing up. Today, we've seen them play predominantly 2 high safety shells. A little bit of a difference. That's how most teams play C.J. Stroud.
Second and 10 for Stroud. Dial it up, sideline, a little bit overthrown for Collins, who had separation within the zone, and it's 3rd and 10.
All right, so here is one area of slight regression here in his second year of C.J. Stroud. Last year, he was excellent in the passing game against 2 high safeties. Typically, those are the more difficult coverages to throw the ball into consistently. He got 2 high safeties there, a smash route. He has Nico Collins wide open, and it's just kind of been the story of the year. They just can't get anything going consistently as an offense.
We talked about situational football and being better on 3rd down. Stroud just has to get rid of it, and Airmail Schultz again. 3 straight misses from Stroud on open opportunities, and instead of this drive continuing, it's a second punt for Houston.
Actually, for an offensive line that has really been under scrutiny here, they actually hold up really well against the pressure. If he gets this ball down into the hands of Dalton Schultz, he's going to run for 30 yards. We just got to see C.J. Stroud trust the protection, get settled into this game here early, because if they don't, unless this Houston defense turns it around, they're going to be in drop-back pass mode, playing from behind, and that's just not a recipe for success for anybody.
Townsend will look to pin him deep this time after a short punt on the first one. Steven Sims back there, and he gets hit before the ball.
Fair catch interference.
And Sims, feeling the effects, will get up to his feet. Hit by D'Angelo Ross, who was just elevated from the practice squad. And first time today, we'll hear from Alan Eck after a nice discussion with our officiating crew.
Yeah, this is one of those where I'm not sure if there's a whole lot of analysis. I think what happens is he kind of fools him. He's trying to just kind of like deke him where he's like fakes like he's going to catch it because he's trying to let that ball bounce into the end zone.
The kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the spot of foul. First down, Baltimore. Timeout.
Yes.
So Ross, who was called up for some extra depth at corner with the injuries in the secondary, with a little bit of a mental. It's the holiday season. The Baltimore Ravens and Roquan Smith hosted their 19th annual Holiday Helpers event. Gave away presents to students from a local middle school. And then for the Houston Texans last Thursday, players hosted a bike giveaway at NRG Stadium. 100 students were surprised with new bikes for the holidays. It's always great to see the teams giving back, spreading holiday cheer, which they do year in and year out. And we'll see this Baltimore offense that has been a freight train so far. 14 plays, 111 yards on their first two possessions have resulted in 10 points. Well, it's the motion man, and yeah, stick with what's working. Derrick Henry weaving his way through to the 40. 17-yard gain on first down.
Well, now they're just showing off. I mean, how many ways can you run just inside trap wham? I mean, now they just run it. Now they just run trap to the left side. So we saw Ricard. He went influence trap wham from the left side. Now they go trap to the other side. It's just when they get him running downhill through the initial line, he gets to the second level. It's tough sledding.
Averaging nearly 9 yards per carry so far, and finally they get some bodies. Doesn't matter. He's pushing that sled forward. We asked D'Amico Ryans, how do you take a guy like this down? He goes, I need a lot of help.
Yeah, I think right now we've seen them try to experiment with some five-man front, a little bit more base personnel, meaning get 3 linebackers on the field. They traditionally want to play with 5 defensive backs. That's what they've been coming into today's game, but one slight change for this Baltimore Ravens team. They operate mostly out of 2 tight ends, Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews.
Keith Mitchell, working his way back from injury through this season, will snake his way around across midfield and move the sticks. Derrick Henry already near 100 yards on the day, and he has been towards the top of the rushing leaderboard all season. Here's a look at the current stats, including today for Henry, over 1,700. Saquon leads the way, but these two have really separated themselves from the pack.
They had And the conversation surrounding them both is very similar. You take generationally talented backs, you put them with very good offensive lines in organizations that have been very good run teams before their arrival, and you put those two things together, you get the two seasons the Eagles and the Ravens are having.
Back to NRG Stadium for the second quarter. Baltimore in firm control. Got the ball to start, went right down the field. Wow. 10-0. Baltimore brought the boom like that guy's beard. Henry in there at 86 yards on 10 carries in the first quarter to go with that touchdown. And he gets devoured in the backfield by Will Anderson. Loss of 4.
Trying to influence Will Anderson with this jet sweep motion by Zay Flowers, and he just completely ignores it. So don't be surprised. You see Lamar Jackson get under center here, maybe in a drive or two, and next time they bring that receiver across, they give it to him. So there's a coach in the box whose only job is to watch that motion and say, hey, coach, Monkey, nobody even looked at the jet. I'll be shocked to see him down the road hand that ball off to him.
Mitchell in there on 2nd and 14, delayed handoff. They're going to keep going backward, and guess who? Will Anderson Jr. Back-to-back big plays in the backfield.
We came onto the broadcast talking about the combination of Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter. No combination of edge rushers in the league have as many sacks, but it's his ability to impact the game on every down. Run, pass, first down, third down. One of those rare guys, maybe lost a little bit in last year's success from C.J. Stroud. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Will Anderson, Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's pretty unheard of.
3rd and 20. Deep drop for Jackson. Step up in the pocket. Jackson rolls. Looking to set the feet. Keeping the play alive. Flings it across the field and incomplete. That pass rush gets home. The coverage perfect to the back. And Jackson just has to dirt it to send it to 4th and 20.
All right, so here's the magic of Lamar Jackson, and actually a really nice job by Houston When you measure a quarterback under pressure, it goes, don't turn it over, don't take sacks, and then generate plays downfield. That's all three things over this entire season Lamar Jackson's excelled at, and really nice job defending the second play on that snap.
So Jordan Stout's first punt of the day, send it away to the veteran Robert Woods, calling for the fair catch and making it just through the 20-yard line. Houston's defense finally gets a little bit of juice. Netflix Christmas Game Day is presented by Intuit TurboTax. Now this is taxes. By Smartwater. Life's full of choices. Here's a simple one. And by NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. Get it now for $49. Look at a shot of the Netflix Christmas blimp right here. Keep an eye out as we approach halftime for a surprise drop. You definitely are not going to want to miss as we are in full force. Christmas Game Day here on Netflix. So Houston has had a couple possessions, haven't found a way to find anything. This was that last overthrow by Stroud. You see Laramie Tunsil's right foot steps on the left of Stroud and then just a little awry on the throw. So we'll keep an eye on how his movement looks. Mixon in the backfield on first down from the 18-yard line. Play action for Stroud. Humphrey coming off the edge. And he gets rid of it. Incomplete again. Another misfire from Stroud, this time looking for Mixon.
And I think for Bobby Slowick right now, the offensive coordinator for Houston, just got to get C.J. Stroud an easy completion because there's opportunities there, whether it's downfield.
Number 87 offense. Half the distance to the goal. Replay. First down.
Yeah, this looked like Stover was holding on Humphrey on that corner blitz.
Yes!
Okay, see Bobby Slowick there. They bring Marlon Humphrey playing predominantly from the slot. Clearly a hold, but so I think right now just C.J. Stroud just needs to settle in. He's got to get him a completion, get him something easy, because there's opportunities both in the checkdowns and downfield. C.J. Stroud starts putting the ball on his receivers. He's got a shot.
And he does finally get a completion to Mixon. Makes Humphrey miss, and then lowers the shoulder back towards the initial line of scrimmage. Roquan Smith will be credited by that final tackle. So you lose 9 yards on the penalty, you get 10 yards on that quick check down. Stroud now 4 for 7 with 41 yards, and it sets up 2nd and 9 anyway. Stroud along with Andrew Luck is the only top 2 picks at quarterback with 9+ wins in each of their first 2 seasons in the NFL. This is a team that wanted to use this game and last week against the Chiefs as a measuring stick heading into the playoffs. Good time for Stroud. Looking to the sideline. Dangerous. It's caught. Schultz with a 50-50 ball. Darius Washington out of position. And Schultz snatches it home for a big game.
It seemed like he had all day in the pocket. You want to play running back in the NFL, you better be a willing and able pass protector. Watch the job here as Roquan Smith adds late.
First down pass. And again, Stroud has just been off on the last 2 drives. This time looking for Mechie.
See, the ability to hold off Roquan there, that's what allowed C.J. Stroud to get all the way from his first progression, which was on the left boundary, all the way through to the right side. And I'll be honest, when he threw it, I think if they saw it, it might have been a pick, but really nice job there coming back to the ball. And again, there's some opportunities in this passing game, and C.J. Stroud just needs to settle down and get a couple easy completions.
We haven't seen this type of lack of rhythm from Stroud really this season. The numbers have been down, but his throws have still been on the money. This time on 2nd and 10, and he does find the connection. Mechie fumbled it out of bounds. We'll see if they do rule that a catch. It looks like they do on the football move. Gains 9. And then we'll have the discussion. That was a quick bang-bang.
Take a look here on the sideline. Mechie catches it.
Completed pass for the forward fumble out of bounds. The ball will be returned to the spot of fumble. 3rd down.
Yeah, so the rule is he's got to take 2 steps and then make some determination of a football move. Live, the officials determined he made that move by turning up the field. They're going to classify that as the football move. And you have to imagine with the way things have gone here, they're going to take a look at this. I have to imagine that's what your stoppage in play is.
Well, initially they moved it back to where the fumble occurred, so it's back at the 45. It'll be 3rd and 2 should it stand. And let's hear from Alan Eck once again.
And here we go.
And it's gone.
Okay, that was a lot for not sure, but anyway, you have to imagine with the way this game has gone, you don't want to let Baltimore get 2 out in front. You have to imagine this is 4-down territory if you're Houston.
Here's the back on 3rd and 10. Fake it to him. Stroud with all day. Now time runs out. Spinning away.
Yes.
The worst thing that could happen as Owe comes in and dumps him.
Yeah, you said it, and that's worst case scenario. Ofe, he chases him down all the way from the backside. It's just nobody is blocking this play, anticipating C.J. Stroud holding on to the ball that long. That is a run action. Get the ball out of your hand, and you can always tell by the body language of the offensive lineman how long do they expect the quarterback to hold it. And just can't take that sack.
3 drives, 3 punts for this Houston offense. Townsend sending it to Sims once again. Flag is down, and Sims will look to make something happen. Reversing field, looking for blockers.
Looks like it's going to be a hold against Baltimore.
Coverage by this punt unit for Houston. Hewitt there to make the contact. Boyd down deep, but we'll wait on the penalty. 61-yard punt. And now we will absolutely hear from Alan Eck this time. I can promise you that much, that he will turn the microphone on and speak. It's a matter of when that's going to occur that I can't confirm.
Yeah, if this is on Houston, you got to imagine they're going to accept the penalty, make them punt the ball again with they down that ball at the 6-yard line.
Kick, number 17 in the kicking team. The receiving team is elected towards the 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 4th down.
Yeah, it's a smart move there by John Harbaugh with them downing the ball at the 6. So what they say here is when the gunner just runs out of bounds, so into the white without being forced out of bounds by the holdup, that's the penalty that they threw. And now if you're that gunner, you just ran 65 yards to make that tackle. You got to line back up and do it all over again. So smart play here by Harbaugh, hoping to take back possession of the ball with some better field position.
D'Amico Ryans puts a lot of emphasis on special teams and finding guys for this team that just love football and are willing to accept that special teams role with pride. He feels like he's done that. Jeff Okuda's been a great example of that, a guy who was a former top 3 pick that has really leaned into special teams, and their special teams coordinator, Frank Ross, has done an excellent job of remaining aggressive, especially in the return game. But the kick game, getting the veteran and Tommy Townsend was a nice boost for them as a punter. They've got Fairbairn, who has hit a number of 50-plus yarders. Overall, all 3 phases have been impressive. And Sims this time will have another deep one from Townsend. It'll bounce at the 1 and die. What a job on the vet. Ross all the way down after he had the penalty.
The ball went from the 6. You make him re-punt it again, and now it's on the 3.
I love a good punter celebration. Are you not entertained in Houston? Back to NRG Stadium here in Houston. Baltimore 10, Houston nothing. The Texans have had opportunities, just haven't capitalized quite yet. But a great punt, 70 yards from Tommy Townsend to pin this Ravens offense back inside the 5. They'll start at the 4. We've seen their first 3 drives. They went 75 down the field on the opening drive for the touchdown, the field goal, and then the punt after Houston finally got some pressure on 1st and 2nd down. Been a monster so far. 11 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown. He's got it on 1st down. Looking to bounce.
Oh no, it's a safety.
To the right. And again, for a young player to be this good in the passing game, that's probably more expected, but brings them a little physical element against the run. And listen, it's not easy bringing down Derrick Henry. It seems like this Houston defense, this entire Houston sideline needed a spark, and it was brought by the young corner, Kamari Lassiter.
It just felt like Houston Houston's defense was going to have to be the one to pop the cork on this game, so to speak. They're great at taking the football away, but just to get points now on the board, maybe that does enough to open things up, provide some confidence for this offense. Henry will look back. He is talked about as one of the most humble and hard-working guys on this team, but after the ridiculous start of his first 10 carries, he went for 86 yards. His last 2 carries, he's lost 8 yards, and that one going for 2.
Yeah, so again, it seems like something small. But remember, Baltimore asked, they accept the penalty for running out of bounds. They make Houston re-punt the ball, and instead of taking over at the 6, you take over at the 3 after a 70-yard punt. So the right decision by John Harbaugh, just really well executed by the punt team of the Texans.
So now Jordan Stout is going to send it away from the 20 on this free kick.
Yeah, remember, worth noting now with these new dynamic kickoff rules that the players still have to wait for the ball to be caught. He's not going to be able to get this ball as deep as he traditionally would in the normal alignment of this kickoff. So good opportunity here for Houston to try to get some field position and try to jumpstart this offense.
So Pierce and Agumbawala, the 2 running backs, are back there. Pierce they love because he can break through those arm tackles in moments like this. And it will be Pierce from just in front of the goal line. They're going to set up the blocking. Pierce through the crease, lowers the shoulder. Dameon Pierce, angry run and return down to the 44.
It really feels like for the first time, there's a little juice in this building, doesn't it? They get the safety, now the big kickoff return, and an offense that's really gotten off to a sluggish start, just kind of trying to find their groove. It's been the special teams and the defense, and all of a sudden they've got a little life. Let's see now, can they put a drive together and get back in this game?
They've abandoned the run to a larger degree these last couple of possessions, and they found openings in the passing game. We'll see if Mixon gets an opportunity, and he will on first down, runs into a wall across the 45 to the 47.
And so we'll go back to the safety. You see Lassiter, he lines up here. But now watch, they motion, and he just stays there. Now he's the extra run-fit player to that nub side, and there's only 2. There's Ricard and Mark Andrews. They can only block 2 defenders, and he's the unblocked man.
This is what Dameon Pierce does. He hasn't played a ton on offense this season. We saw him have a really solid rookie year, but he just has seen the role decrease. But special teams is where he stands out. It's because he can break through those types of tackles and set up good field position. Second down and 6, Stroud over the middle. It's caught. Robert Woods goes down low into Baltimore territory to the 37.
Yeah, nice route here on the inside by the veteran Woods, and much better timing and rhythm. And anytime a quarterback, Noah, is kind of struggling with his timing, usually it has to do from the ground up. It's usually not the throw, it's not the arm, it's their feet are out of whack, they're not set, they're not in rhythm, and that time found his matchup, his feet were underneath him, and one of the better balls we've seen him throw here in the first half.
7 completions for Stroud, 6 different receivers on the pitch. It's Mixon, and he is going backward. Marlon Humphrey comes up to make the tackle in the backfield, loses 3.
Just look how many guys they had at the point of attack. We mentioned the ability of Marlon Humphrey in that slot to not only play the pass and match up both in man and zone, but it's like having another linebacker. They can get away with playing so much 5 defensive back coverage shells because of the versatility of Marlon Humphrey. And the guy we talked a lot about, he's in the middle of the field, Kyle Hamilton.
Again, this is where Houston's really struggled. Second and long situations. Stroud feeling pressure, steps up, and just a little bit short for Mechie. He was feeling it, got hit as he threw it, as we set it down to Jamie.
Well, Noah, part of that dynamic backfield for the defense, for the Ravens, they're out of rotation right now with Nate Wiggins. He was hurt on that kickoff return coverage for the Ravens. He is in the blue medical tent. The red hat followed him in, which is the unaffiliated neurotrauma consultant.
It certainly took the hit right here when Pierce lowered the shoulder. And Wiggins, we will check on, he has been an important part of this Baltimore defense on that outside. down and 12. Stroud, quick throw. Mechie makes the grab at the 30. They'll set up 4th down and 3. Roquan Smith makes the tackle, and now you've got the decision to make with a field goal, or do you try to cash in on that safety?
Yeah, I'm not even hesitating here. D'Amico Ryans, nice job there again. Second time he's targeted Woods, but you understand, we talked about your offensive strategy is every bit relying on the opposing team's offense. The way this Ravens offense has looked here early, you've got to chase points. Field goals aren't going to cut it. I like this decision.
4th and 3. Stroud in the pocket. Lofting sideline, incomplete, and the flag.
Oh, come on!
Matched up with Marlon Humphrey. We'll take another look.
Yeah, so Humphrey actually does a nice job getting his head around. So I thought Marlon Humphrey actually does a nice job getting his head around. You see there was some contact on the front, on the chest of Woods. It didn't look to me like he really restricted him very much. I'd love to know, Gene, what are your thoughts there on that? And that's a critical 4th down call.
Either way, it just goes right to a 1st down opportunity for Mixon. All right, Gene, what'd you see?
Yeah, you know what, fellas? I'm not seeing a lot either there. I'm seeing Humphrey with his head around. He's got his arm around the waist, but I'm not seeing a lot of restriction, and he's playing the football. You're taking a look. You see the left hand around his waist. He's not turning him. His head's back, and you just got 2 guys playing for the football there. I don't think that's enough for pass interference, in my opinion, fellas.
What a huge break for Houston, and they badly needed it in this first quarter, or first half, rather, with 6.5 to play in the second. Remember, they do get the football to start the second half. Play clock is under 5. Finally, they can get this play off. And Stroud does. It's a handoff. It's Mixon staying on his feet, and then he gets pile-driven backward. Humphrey and Smith both combine to make the tackle. 3rd and goal.
Yeah, so worth noting. So the reason the officials stood over the ball there, and I thought they were going to take a timeout. That's a critical place in the field to take a delay game. They just got the ball off, but because Houston subbed late, they have to give Baltimore an opportunity to match the personnel and also sub. So until that last Baltimore Raven got off the field, the official's going to hold that snap, and they're lucky it wasn't a delay game.
3rd and goal. Empty set. Stroud through his progressions to the end zone, knocked away. Humphrey with perfect coverage on Mechie.
Yeah, so it's just straight man across the board, and he's just hoping that Mechie's able to win. I'd love to see them, with all this man coverage and matchups, get some crossing routes, get some meshes, allow guys to run interference for one another. In that empty look, you're just asking everybody to just play one-on-one. And it's just hard to count on everyone winning their matchups, especially against a really good defense like Baltimore.
4th and goal. Stroud. Mixon. Can he beat him there? No!
You did not get it! Yes!
What a play by the safety to keep points off the board.
Well, we talk so much about Kyle Hamilton and how they've turned around their season, but Ardarius Washington replacing Marcus Williams, he's been every bit a part of that turnaround, and it is not easy to get Joe Mixon on the ground in a critical moment. That's a big-time play.
Keeps it an 8-point game with 5.5. Second, after the stop on 4th and goal, Baltimore has it on their own 1. It was at the 4-yard line on the last possession when Lassiter forced the safety. Let's see what they want here on 1st down. There's a handoff for Henry, and this time he'll just surge forward and provide some breathing room.
Yes, let's go back to that 4th down stop. So it's an escort play, meaning Dalton Schultz, he's a design run blocker. They're going to go 7-stop, and Mechie's going to run a drag. So Dalton Schultz, his entire role on this play is to block the nearest zone defender. And what they don't account for is one-on-one at the goal line. Washington able to stop one of the more physical, imposing running backs in the league, Joe Mixon.
Action on 2nd down, and Jackson makes the connection. It's Rashad Bateman who gets spun backward by Lassiter. Now 4:45 to play in this first half. Both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining. Again, Houston decided to defer to the second half. A stop here would be monumental for the Texans.
Absolutely, and I actually really like these last couple possessions from this Texans defense. They've really settled down. Got a couple stops, of course, got the big safety, so continue to limit the explosive plays. It's mostly been on the ground. Just can't give too much attention to this run game, because at some point they're going to throw the ball over your head.
Derrick Henry up to 85 yards. They'll fake it to him. Jackson on the run. Jackson looking downfield. He'll fling. He'll connect. Zay Flowers sliding grab on Stingley. And a flag is down back at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to get Ronnie Staley, the left tackle, legal man downfield. You know, it's such a challenge pass protecting for Lamar Jackson.
That'd be impossible.
Yeah, I mean, again, they lead the league in holding calls. It's kind of part of the deal when you have a quarterback that can extend the play so long.
Downfield, number
No!
5-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
You know, so you get holding calls because you're not exactly sure where Lamar Jackson is in the pocket. And then here you just start drifting down the field. He's here on the left side. You see him there, 79, and just kind of gets lost. And is Lamar going to be a runner? Is he going to remain a passer? It's hard for the big guys up front, and ends up bringing back a nice completion and scramble drill to Flowers.
Second most penalized team in the league behind only Tennessee, at nearly 8 per game. Henry will get tripped up. His job is hanging on for dear life by Miles Bryant. Well, welcome to the ho down. Don't miss the NFL halftime show featuring Beyonce coming up next live right here on Netflix. It's going to be big time in her hometown here in Houston. The crowd's looking forward to it.
Super Bowl 50.
Yeah, unfortunately,
I got to get it off my chest here early. She was the halftime show, and that game in Santa Clara didn't exactly go our way. So I've got bad memories. It's going to be a lot nicer here at halftime watching Beyonce without worrying about win and lose.
Jackson on 2nd and 10. Avoids the sack. Now Jackson looking to run, looking to throw, looking to connect. Andrews on the run. Down the sideline.
Come on, go! Go!
Accelerates inside the red zone. Caleb Bullock, full sprint to the tight end. What a play to extend it by Jackson.
So Miles Bryant, number 27, comes off the slot and actually does a nice job beating pressure. The order of operations. Don't turn it over. Don't take a sack. And then create big plays off the scramble downfield. And earlier in the season, there was a lot of people calling that Mark Andrews, what's his role here? Is Isaiah Likely better? Well, they keep them both on the field a lot, and he's coming down the stretch hard.
Back to Henry, toppling forward to the 10.
And we reached a 2-minute warning.
Halftime show. The crew in LA will let you know what the Ravens and the Texans need to do to pull out a win. It's all coming up on the BMW Halftime Show. Here in Houston, 10-2 score so far. 2 minutes to play in this second quarter. And a critical couple of plays for a Houston defense that has found a little bit of a rhythm over the last couple of possessions, but just gave up that gash 67-yard pitch and catch from Jackson Andrews. For Jackson, pump, Jackson steps on the brakes, extending the play, throws
Touchdown! Yeah.
Lamar Jackson making magic in H-Town.
Listen, we came onto the broadcast saying, how do you stop them? What do you try to take away? They're trying to just go play action and slip this into the flat to Isaiah Likely, but it's initially really well defended. And how many times we said it? Nobody can get Lamar Jackson on the ground. He allowed Isaiah Likely to run, I'm not even sure what that route is. It's about 4 change of directions, and you just can't stress your coverage. It's just truly remarkable the level in which Lamar Jackson can play.
Extra point from Tucker is through. And Greg, you brought up the 2 tight end look. That drive, it was that in a nutshell. 67-yard catch by Andrews to set it up, and then it's Likely with his 6th catch on a touchdown of the season. The 90. here in Houston. Baltimore's offense humming. Nearly 9 yards per play in this first half, 233 total yards, and 2 trips into the red zone have resulted in 2 trips into the end zone. Last one, Lamar Jackson doing what he does best, extending the play and finding one of his 2 tight ends, Isaiah Likely, who he's really built quite the chemistry with the last couple of years now. 11 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons for Likely. Stat will send it away, and this will go through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Guys, I mean, let's go back to that last play. I mean, he held the ball for 8 seconds. And listen, Danielle Hunter, this is one of the best, most premier defensive end in the entire league. Came into the game leading the NFL in pressures, and he's not sure, like, should I stay in front of him? Am I playing basketball? Should I go after him? And he makes me this. It's just such a challenge in the open field. And then what a great second reaction. I would say it's one thing defending the first play of the Baltimore Ravens, what they call out of the huddle, but oftentimes it's the second play, which you just saw there.
Play action for Stroud on first down on a deep drop. Laser over the middle is caught. Mechie had to scoop it up. All 3 timeouts for this Houston offense, so they're going to roll quickly here. 19 yards on first down. Get back to the line with 90 seconds. It is Stroud to the outside this time, and Xavier Hutchinson will make his first catch of the day.
Again, we've seen it this entire half. This has not been a matter of whether or not they can generate some guys open downfield and have some opportunities, primarily in the passing game. I think at this stage, down 17-2, the run game just becomes a compliment. We're just going to mix it in to keep them off balance, but there's guys open downfield. C.J. Stroud start finding his groove a little bit and see if he can get back into this ball game.
Actually, 7 different receivers already today. Stroud again, and that one dangerous in a lot of chaos as Collins was the intended target, sets up 3rd and 2.
That's a really good ball. I think this ball kind of goes right through his hands. I agree. When that ball came out of his hand, threw it right off the ear of the linebacker. It was a really accurate throw, good anticipation, and we've seen Nico Collins make that play all year.
The difference in attempts is startling. 7 attempts for Jackson, but they have moved it so effectively on the ground. It's been the opposite for Houston now with a 3rd and 2. Here comes the pressure on Stroud, and he just airmails another a little bit too far in front of Schultz. So 118, all 3 timeouts for Baltimore. Again, you need points badly. You're in Ravens territory, but it looks like Tommy Townsend will come out to punt.
And again, it's just these really elaborate pressure schemes when you get into 3rd and pass. That time it's Chris Board. And again, just can't stress it enough. He's been such a good player, so quick into this league, and here in year 2, especially today, it just seems like everything is off. And he's got to find a way here to regroup at halftime and find some success coming out of the break.
Crowd wasn't thrilled with the decision from D'Amico Ryans as this one bounces into the end zone. Townsend nearly had another perfect bounce to pin them all the way deep. Instead, you've got 1 minute and 11 seconds, which for this Baltimore offense feels like quite literally an eternity. Look at the playoff picture again in the AFC. The Chiefs now at 15-1 on the season, have already clinched the #1 seed in the AFC. The Bills have clinched the AFC East, and they'll look to remain in that 2nd seed. The Ravens now control their path to the AFC North. They've got the half-game advantage on the Steelers. Of course, beat the Steelers on Saturday, split the season series. But if they win out, they will host a playoff game this year. It'll be Pittsburgh coming here, in all likelihood, to Houston, unless the Texans can find a way to turn this one around and win next week in the season finale at Tennessee. Minute 11, 3 timeouts. Houston will get the football to start the second half with Keaton Mitchell in the game on first down here for Baltimore.
So a little tear motion check. He knows it's zone coverage. Get him into the right call.
Jackson, leave it. Mitchell evades. Mitchell, speed. Mitchell blocking across the 45.
Yeah, so a great job there. He does does a little tear motion. He walks up, checks into a screen, and the timing of Mitchell's just really nice. He comes underneath the kick-out block by Linderbaum, and it goes back. I mean, their ball in one play is right where they just punted the ball from on that last fourth down.
And now you've got 40 seconds. Flowers was open, but Jackson couldn't make the connection. That's his third incompletion of the day here at Houston. We talk about this with Mahomes, with Stafford, guys like that. The arm angles that Lamar Jackson can create, we saw it on the screen pass, are pretty remarkable.
Yeah, his development as a passer, you just can't say enough about it. When you asked John Harbaugh, he came to me and said, I'm ready for this. I'm ready to evolve as a passer and go to the next stage of my development. And it was just hard to believe. We said it to start the show. Two-time MVP, playing the best ball of his career.
By number 3, Jackson with a deep drop. He'll load it up. May have been hit as he threw it, and the wobbler is incomplete for Tez Walker.
And this time it's Will Anderson, the other half of that duo, along with Danielle Hunter, coming in, leading the league in combined sacks. He just gets the right arm of Lamar Jackson, causes that ball to fall short.
Huge play for this Houston defense. 3rd and 10 from the Baltimore 48.
Baltimore's going to take a timeout. They were late substituting on the field. Tez Walker, the wide receiver, the young rookie, couldn't quite get lined up.
So John Harbaugh will take that first of 3 timeouts. We've talked a little bit about the statistical aspect for Lamar Jackson. These are the first 2 MVPs that he's won. The yardage already greater. The touchdown passes, and now has 38 after the one likely on the previous possession. The rushing yards may be slightly down, but you mentioned the impact, despite the rushing being down, is as great as it's ever been for a guy like this who keeps his development moving forward.
And I just think it's a credit to John Harbaugh. And you look, over the course of Lamar Jackson's career, it just feels like he brought in the right offensive coordinator at the right moment. You think early on in his career when he took over at quarterback, it's Greg Roman, it's multiple tight ends, and it's a heavy run. Now Todd Monken, he comes from Georgia, and they've really elevated this passing game, and that's why he's a front runner for the MVP.
Let's see what Monken dials up on 3rd down and 10. Pressure comes from Houston. Off his back foot, Jackson. Nobody home. A lot of heat. And the Texans do get the stop, the necessary one at that.
Well, they get the stop that they needed, and they went cover 0, so it's just straight man across the board, and then everyone else is in a full-on blitz. You saw Lamar Jackson, he knew it. He's trying to fade, buy time, and then just put it up there and give his guy a chance to run under it. But feels like that was a critical stop now going into the halftime break. We get to see Beyonce.
I know you're excited. Stout will punt it to Woods. Feels it at the 15, 21 seconds. 3 timeouts for Houston. We'll see how aggressive they elect to play this. Down by 15. Again, we'll get the football back, and there is the rookie Tez Walker and Miles Bryant with a little extra after the play. So for Houston, you look at the numbers. C.J. Stroud, 11 of 19, 122 yards, has not turned the football over, which has been a positive. 7 carries for Mixon that have spanned 15 yards. 7 different receivers on the 11 completions from Stroud. He's had openings, he's missed openings. They got stopped on 4th and goal on the screen pass to Mixon, and then Baltimore went 99 yards to extend their lead. The yardage difference being the biggest thing here. And they will go to the air on 1st down. Stroud feeling it, Stroud gets rid of it, and incomplete for Schultz. Oweh, who already has a sack today, applied the pressure, and now Stroud is slow to get up.
And it's on the rookie, Blake Fisher. He's out playing right tackle, and Odafe Oweh just wins so fast. And that's really been the story of the season. And we're going to have to go out and check on C.J. Stroud. He's having a hard time right now. And for a team that's clinched a playoff berth, a division win, as bad as things have been here in the first half, this would be even worse.
So Davis Mills is up and warming up. You'll see he's got his helmet on, walking towards the huddle. Stroud taking his second. It's an offensive line that is much shuffled around and battered down through the season. And there's the hit. It looks like almost that throwing hand is the first thing he flexed. So Stroud will walk towards the sideline, 17 seconds, and now you've got to imagine they're going to be a little bit more conservative if Davis Mills is going to have to be in there. But again, Baltimore with 2 timeouts, and it's deep in Houston territory.
I have to imagine they just keep the ball on the ground here, and if I'm Baltimore, I'm probably going to take those timeouts. This ball ends up inbounds, first and 3rd and long.
It's Ogunbowale on the ground. Nice haul. Ogunbowale stumbles forward. Davius White makes the tackle. 11 seconds on the clock.
So there you go. That's Baltimore playing aggressive and saying, you've got your backup quarterback in the game. 3rd down. I'm going to use it. Can't take these timeouts with me. I'm going to force you, try to get to a 4th down opportunity. Try to get after your punter. And I think everybody in this building right now is thrilled to see number 7, C.J. Stroud, back in that Houston Texans huddle.
So 3rd down and 1 looming. 11 seconds. Get the 1st down. First half likely ends. Get the stop, and we'll see what Baltimore elects to do from there. And they'll go under center. Ogunbowale picked up 9 on that previous carry. Has it again, and he's got enough for the 1st down. Roquan Smith will add a tackle to his tally, and that'll likely end this first half.
We reach halftime. Windows, that's a good answer, but it's not there. See the nope, not there. Politician, yep, it's there.
Is prohibited. 17-2 as we get set to start the third quarter here from NRG Stadium in Houston. We welcome you back to the broadcast booth. Noah Eagle, Greg Olson, Jamie Erdahl, Steve Weiss, and Gene Steratore. A fun first half in many respects, but Baltimore just looked so solid on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and we've seen the two guys you talked the most about. The first quarter was all about Derrick Henry, and then the second quarter, it became the Lamar Jackson show, and everything we talked about that Houston had to do, in a lot of ways defensively, they've cut down on some of the open targets downfield, and they've actually generated a good amount of pressure. They just can't get them on the ground, and they've only been able to sack them once. So in this half, they've got to tighten up, and if they get an opportunity to get Lamar Jackson, got to get him on the ground, and obviously that's a lot easier said than done.
To be fair, very few have figured out how to get on the ground. This is not groundbreaking stuff that the Texans are not finding. We'll check in with Steve Weiss.
All right, guys, we know quarterback C.J. Stroud went out for a play at the end of the first half. Head coach D'Amico Ryanson hit his arm and it briefly went numb. We did see him come back at the end of the half. He's good to go. You see him into the huddle right now.
Great news there, and they'll certainly need Stroud to be at a higher level than he was in the first half.
Yeah, now the question is, can you still stay balanced? Can you get under center? Can you get a little something out of your run game and complement it with some of the play action? You don't want to just, this early in the half, get into the shotgun.
There is play action on first down. Stroud sets the feet, jump pass, dirty for Mixon. Let's check in with Jamie.
Noah, John Harbaugh in pretty good holiday spirits coming out of the locker room. Why wouldn't he be? He was pleased with Lamar Jackson's ability to extend plays, throw off schedule, and fit that football into the tight window offensively. I did ask him if he had to tell his quarterback to stay in the locker room for the Beyonce halftime show. He said he didn't have to tell him. However, he did check to make sure he stayed in. I also confirmed that you could hear Beyonce in the locker, so at least they could hear her.
Yeah, so halfway there for Lamar, who did vow this week that he was going to skip out on the locker room at halftime. He said, sorry, Harbaugh. Second and 10 for Stroud. He'll get away. Now Stroud will look to run. Tucks it and gets across the 35, down to the 37.
Yeah, nice job here by C.J. Stroud. He's having trouble now to start this half. A lot of deep zone coverage. He's just not having anywhere to go with the ball. Nice job here just tucking it, picking up enough to at least make this third and manageable here, because maintaining possession here in the second half is going to be critical with how well this Baltimore offense has gotten off there in the first half.
This Houston offense yet to find an explosive play. Baltimore with 5 in the first half. Stroud rolls, throws, it is picked! Kyle Hamilton! First major mistake from Stroud as he gives it away, and Hamilton on the takeaway, the 10th interception of the season for Baltimore.
Well, we came on to the broadcast talking about the adjustment about halfway through the season of moving Kyle Hamilton, one of the best box safeties, one of the best overall young safeties in all of football, moving him back deep. And remember, early in the season, Noah, the struggles this Baltimore Ravens defense was having was primarily in the passing game, and specifically in the deep, explosive passing game. And ever since they put him back there, they've been the best pass defense in the NFL. Take a look here. Oh, that's close. Remember now, it can hit the ground. What they're trying to determine is if they determine the ball didn't move, they're going to uphold that and give Hamilton the pick.
It was confirmed, so Baltimore possession from the 39. And Henry on the run. Henry gets away. Stays on his feet to pick up 12.
Actually a nice little linebacker stunt here. They run a little cross and they get Neville Hewitt. He's unblocked in the hole. But again, it's one thing to have unblocked defenders. I promise you in the walkthrough this week, that looked really good. Hey, we got a guy, you tap him on the hip and you go to the next play. But then the second element, of course, is you got to get these guys on the ground, and it's as good a running back as we've seen.
Jackson will keep this time. And look at the speed!
Oh, he's going for it! It's a touchdown! Yes!
We've seen this Baltimore Ravens offense do a little bit of everything at such a high level, and when they can throw so many variations of offense in the run game, in the pass game, drop back, play action, and then obviously the last element is as a designed runner, one of the most unique skill sets we've ever seen at the quarterback position, and we're seeing it all on display here today.
Puts him just 13 yards away of passing Michael Vick for most rushing yards in a career for a quarterback. He's done it on 2 carries, going 73 yards. He had 48 on one, and he had the big 25-yard scamper. Mark Andrews knew it. He was 30 yards away, and the tight end said, yeah, put the points on the board. 24-2, Baltimore in control.
It was the night before Christmas on a hotel roof. Santa found himself somewhere that appeared Santa-proof. He got stuck in the door, and it all became clear. Delivering presents.
your ally. And by Minute Maid Zero Sugar. Great taste. Zero sugar. It's been sweet so far for Baltimore. From start to finish in this game. Took the ball in the first possession, 8 plays down the field. They have led ever since. 9.8 yards per play for this offense compared to just 3.9 for the Texans. The total yards, 322 to 132. And we're starting to see why Baltimore is a bona fide Super Bowl contender. With the way they've played over the last 6 weeks now defensively, couple that with the most explosive offense in the NFL. And it's a 24-2 advantage. And a scout will send it into the back of the end zone.
Yeah, this is such a fun play, so it's just inside zone. But the variation is Mark Andrews is the arc player, and Isaiah Likely, and then he belongs to the quarterback, he belongs to Andrews, he belongs to Likely. So you could actually leave 3 unblocked Texans defenders, and when your quarterback runs 21.2 miles per hour, which is what he reached on that touchdown. Again, we asked the question, how do you stop them when they're playing like this? I'm not sure you can.
Possibility to go back to the ground and a short game for Mixon. And Lamar Jackson, it just feels like you run out of superlatives. The celebration, his offensive linemen, always such great blockers for him, and Will Anderson, who has made some big plays, but he knew he certainly missed on that one.
Yeah, so Will Anderson, he was the read player, and remember what D'Amico Ryans told us this week leading up to the game. They wanted to make Lamar Jackson give the ball. Give it, don't let him pull it for that option read on the outside, and I think Will Anderson just missed it.
Look out, Stroud gets dumped. Chris Board unblocked to the quarterback.
Yeah, Joe Mixon, the running back, he just misses his scan. The linemen are going right. He's got this edge off the left side by Board, and you can see he's just late getting there. And right now, you get into a drop-back game, trailing by 22 here in the second half, and these Ravens defensive players, they're going to bring out blitzes, stunts, line games, and just really challenge this offensive line that has to operate in drop-back mode here the entire half.
Already struggled on third down, and now they've got 3rd and 16 coming again. Stroud to Schultz, has to be special, and he won't. Brandon Stevens got him by the leg, 4th and long, and a punt.
All right, so we saw the blitz on the first one. Now watch what they're able to do with this pick step line game. So this is Van Noy, and then Travis Jones, the big nose tackle, he comes around. So it feels like you're blitzing 5, you're bringing 5 or 6, but it's really just a 4-man rush, and something this Texans offensive line has really struggled with all season long.
Townsend with his 5th punt of the day. Sims, short one, fields it to the outside, steps on the brakes, and then gets walloped there. Nice hit brought in by Jamal Hill. Ravens defense applying the pressure, and Stroud has nowhere to run. Ravens up 8. NRG Stadium, where the Ravens have been just taking it to the Texans from the beginning of this game all the way through. It has been Lamar Jackson. After the start from Derrick Henry, he has now come alive and looked like the MVP we've seen twice before, and maybe even for a third time here this season. With 2 total touchdowns, 1 through the air, 1 on the ground. Get it back to Henry. They're so smart about the cutbacks, vision, and the power. Eric Murray makes the tackle, but Henry does scamper forward for 6.
And so they come back to the wham play, and this time the defensive tackle actually does a nice job. He sees Ricard coming to hit him, and Derrick Henry says, all right, you want to go out there? I'll just wind this thing back and hit open space. It's vision, it's run after contact, and the job of this offensive line, it's the yards before contact that's really changed the picture here for Derrick Henry at this stage in his career.
He had his 17th career 150-plus yard game last time against Pittsburgh at 162 on the ground. That one's going to get him up to 114 on the day. The 17 career games with at least 150, 7th most in NFL history. Just a workhorse. Love what John Harbaugh said. He's such a hard worker. His workout's already legendary. He goes, you don't get that body by accident. Just look at the Russian royalty list, the names he's with, climbing slowly but surely up there with now 103 touchdowns in his career. They get 1 on 4 after the first quarter score to start this game. Under 10 to play in the third. Third down and 3. Jackson will keep again. Gets a block. And he's got the first down. Nice job by Likely to get in front of Christian Harris and give him enough space.
Oh, that's a switch line.
Yeah, so again, they're putting Will Anderson, the defensive end, they're putting him in conflict. This time, the escort player starts on the other side of the field, Isaiah Likely.
Not there.
1 unblocked defensive end, 1 unblocked second-level linebacker, and just play the numbers game. And of course, that's what a running mobile quarterback allows you to do. Even if you want to play 8-man spacing and put a lot of guys up in the box, he's the great equalizer when he pulls the ball.
Jackson will throw. Looking for Henry to the outside. And did not get away from Christian Harris. Get a flag down.
I think they're going to get a horse collar here. I think Christian Harris grabs inside a face mask or a horse collar. I don't think he didn't grab behind. He kind of grabbed on like the front side of Derrick Henry's neck. I'll be curious.
Personal foul, face mask. 15-yard penalty at the end of the play. Automatic first down.
It looked like he grazed the face mask early, but he never really grabbed it.
Yeah, he grabbed the inside of Derrick Henry's shoulder pad collar. Take a look here. I mean, I don't think he ever grabbed.
He hits it.
He hits it.
Slightly hooks, maybe.
It's close. Almost.
Gene, you see anything in terms of face mask here?
No, not really. You just see the hand graze, as you guys said, and he's grabbing inside. They're in the front, too, not in the back.
Right.
I don't think there's anything there, fellas. Not a foul.
Well, knocking on the door of the red zone after the penalty. Henry looking to take advantage. Will lower the shoulder to the 25.
That's a good note there by Gene. That was kind of the confusion from us up here. Everyone's used to that horse collar grab. We grab the back of the shoulder pad and the neck opening, but it has to be in the back for it to be a foul. So just one of those plays in live action. Just hard to really see exactly where Harris's hand grabbed onto.
It was also the way it felt like Henry's face moved and head moved was indicative that it would have been a face mask call. Leads to second down and 7 at the 25. So Jackson, dump it, Henry inside the red zone, spun down to the 11. 14 more yards through the air.
A couple years ago, a pocket like this where he has an escape hatch up and out. Lamar Jackson probably turns into a runner here, but this is all part of the development of him as a passer. He scrambles to pass, and then he runs kind of as a last resort. And you saw the numbers we put up there in the first half. His rushing totals have gone down each year. A lot of that is he's just a lot more comfortable buying time to be a passer.
Henry bouncing off tacklers inside the 10. DeMeco Ryans has really built this defense well.
All right, so remember the touchdown. We said all week they want to make it a give read. So now they run the same arc peel play the other way, and it's a give read. So again, that's how they want to play it. I don't think Will Anderson on the long touchdown by Lamar Jackson exactly played that the way DeMeco Ryans wanted.
Race concept? No.
Runs around. Jackson holds. Jackson is just a little bit short of that first down. He's going to pick up 6 yards, and that should get him to 87 on the day.
Well, it's not every day you end up running a bootleg to the right, pull up, and then scramble and end up outside the numbers to the left. These Houston defenders have to just be like, what do we have to do to get this guy on the ground? And in a day where he's had the longest time to throw, and actually the 3rd highest pressure percentage he's faced all season, it still doesn't matter.
3rd long handoff. Henry bulldozes, and they keep him out, but he'll have 1st and goal.
Simple little power play. That's a lot more of what the run game of the Ravens has been prior to the arrival of Derrick Henry. It's been more pullers, more pin and pulls, obviously the reads with Lamar, and they've implemented a lot more of an outside zone. That's where Derrick Henry's done the bulk of his damage throughout his career.
1st and goal. Jackson play action.
Touchdown. Yeah.
I'm not really sure exactly what Houston is doing here. I mean, it's just the most simple day one play action goal line pass. That's the first pass every team puts in. Fullback in the flat. That's the old Spider 2Y banana. John Gruden shout out, and just he's open by 10 yards. There's not a guy in the screen. It's been a tough day for what's been a great defense.
Tucker adds another point. That is the 50th career touchdown for Mark Andrews. First player in Baltimore history with multiple seasons with 10-plus receiving touchdowns. Lamar doing it all in each down. Netflix Christmas Game Day is presented by Intuit TurboTax. Now this is Texas. And by Allstate. You're in good hands. I do have every inclination to say it like Pedro Serrano from Major League. I try to refrain from Allstate. Meanwhile, we've been kind of teasing this through the game. Lamar Jackson, it only took him 4 carries, but he has passed Michael Vick now, most rush yards by a quarterback in NFL history, along with your longtime teammate Cam Newton. It's just a remarkable run of his career, but think about how quickly he's done it. You could say that Vick obviously missed a couple of years in the middle of his career, in the prime of his career, but Lamar Jackson has done it in fewer games, in fewer carries. Everything that he has done has just been special.
Yeah, if he was just an average passer, you would say, hey, that run threat is still just as important in the way he's able to do it, but with the evolution of him as a passer, he gets a hug there from his head coach, John Harbaugh, but that then compiled with his ability to evolve as a passer and operate as a true drop-back quarterback in this league. I mean, talk about the ultimate dual threat guy.
Stroud to the air on first down, and he does have the completion to Hutchinson, keeping the legs turning for 12. The other thing that John Harbaugh did say about Lamar Jackson is the biggest maybe improvement he's made this year in particular is vocal leadership. He has been a much more vocal leader within this team. You can feel that in terms of the energy that he's brought, just his overall vibe. It has stood out as Stroud goes to the sideline. Incomplete, tight coverage from Wiggins back in the game on Hutchinson.
It's kind of funny to see the evolution. I mean, we all remember the Baltimore Ravens. The identity was always the run game and great defenses and some of the most historically great defenders, Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, and over the years. But now they've kind of recaptured that magic on the defensive side of the ball. And you make an argument, they're in the top 2, and I don't even know if they're 2. As far as the best offenses in football, they're certainly the most explosive. It's pretty impressive.
Second and 10, Stroud finds Mechie. And again, tight coverage from Wiggins. So third down and about 6 or so for this Houston offense that has just been stuck in mud. Only 29 passing yards so far, rather 28 rushing yards in the first half, 12 passing yards in this second half. Only 146 total yards for this Houston offense that was so explosive at times last year. That's what they've been lacking, is those big plays, especially the last couple of games. They did have the touchdown to Dell that eventually ended the season on Saturday. They will go for one here. It's wide open for Collins. Put it right in the spot. And 12 does the rest for the big gain in first down.
Well, we haven't called Nico Collins' name very often. You can see there was contact on the line of scrimmage. Kyle Hamilton, or no, Marlon Humphreys, I'm sorry, he was lined up in the slot, and Dalton Schultz took an inside release, and there was contact there, and that's how Nico Collins ended up so open.
Longest play of the day for Houston. Stroud looking to avoid a negative. Rolling out. Stroud will just sail out of bounds near the line of scrimmage. Roquan Smith with a nice job in pursuit. We saw that even on Saturday in Kansas City with Nico, where he was heavily involved in that first half. He and Tank Dell did a really nice job of finding soft spots in that Kansas City defense. But in the second half, it felt like Nico Collins wasn't even in the game at times.
And you brought up Tank Dell, and you can't stress enough, on a short week, you could just see the heartbreak on C.J. Stroud and really the entire sideline watching him go down with a really serious knee injury last week on that incredible touchdown catch. So they're still trying to fill that hole.
Stroud, good time. And just float it towards the sideline. Mechie does make the grab, and they'll say feet in bounds. Impressive job by the second-year man out of Alabama.
Yeah, nice job there by Mechie, just kind of staying in phase with C.J. Stroud. I actually think he came open a little bit earlier. Let's take a look at his feet. Really good job there on the sideline, understanding where you are on the field. I thought C.J. Stroud could have pulled that trigger from the pocket a little earlier, but either way, nice job there by Mechie. At least giving him an opportunity for a third man. So we have to imagine this is all four. They're in 4-down territory for the rest of this day.
Here is Stroud. Stepping up, going down, tripped up, Matabike. 6.5 sacks now on the season. After his second team All-Pro season last year.
You see Matabike right here. He's lined up. This is the backup right guard, Kendrick Green. Shaq Mason, the longtime veteran, he got hurt last week in that Kansas City game on Saturday. So Kendrick Green now, there's been a lot of moving parts all season, all along this offensive line of Houston. And Kendrick Green's been the next man up. And
4th and 7. Stroud trying to buy some time. It is caught, and they're going to depend on the spot. Looks like a favorable one at that. And a nice job by Agumbawale to just try to make this play. But we're going to look to this hit the ground.
Take a look. Did it hit the ground and move in the spot? It's hard to exactly see where the knees. They're going to go fast here. They're going to try to get this ball snapped before any sort of challenge.
Yeah, the spot felt, and you see John Harbaugh's going to throw the red flag. The spot felt very favorable for this Houston offense. It looked like a catch, but let's take a look. You see where the lines are? Those are artificial. But look where he's down.
Yeah, so catch or not, whether the ball moves or not, he's clearly short.
So we'll see what the official rule is when we return to Houston. Agumbawale with a nice effort for the Texans.
I've been all over this world. I ain't ever seen no demons, no ghosts, no magic.
We talked in the first half about just the feet in the pocket of the quarterback. You're going to see Agumbawale, he's going to break open. This is good protection. There's no reason for C.J. Stroud to move off his spot. If he just stays in the pocket, gets to his check down, I think he puts that ball on the front shoulder pad of Agumbawale, and he might score, but he's uncomfortable in the pocket, and all of the timing is off.
Handoff for Henry as he'll plunge forward to the 15-yard line. Celebrate the NBA on Christmas Day with star-studded matchup featuring the Lakers and the Warriors at 8 Eastern and the Nuggets and Suns at 10:30 tonight on ESPN and ABC. We got stars littered across all 4 of those teams. Should be a lot of fun as the NBA wraps up their Christmas slate. Lamar Jackson, one of the top stars, of course, not just in this game, but in the sport, and showing and playing like it so far here tonight. Henry trying to get to the outside, he will. So slippery, and I'll set up 3rd and short. Justin Tucker there to help him up.
It's just a simple power play, and we got a lot of guys at the point of contact, but how often have we seen this where when you block it well, he goes for the big ones, but even when the blocking's not perfect, his ability to force yards after contact is just, he's one of the best guys of all time, and that's the combination here. We've talked about it a lot, and that's what makes this group so good.
3rd and 1. Henry. 1st down. Let's check in with Steve.
You guys remember Monday night the Packers shut out the Saints? That was the first time the team been shut out all season. If this score holds, at least for Houston, they would be coming close to that dubious company with only 2 points.
And we'll see if this offense can find anything in the 4th quarter. Appreciate it, Steve. Good perspective there. You know, along the lines of what you were saying, Greg, about Derrick Henry, and they're going to actually roll this short, or are they? No.
I think that J. Crew was a little late.
Yeah.
They didn't get the memo that he got the 1st down.
Listen, it's a holiday season, you know, sometimes you maybe had a little too much to eat. I think we feel that way last night. I'm glad you fit into your suit today.
I was nervous. I ate way too much last night, but happy to announce, did fit into my suit.
It looks good, too.
Appreciate that.
But along with what you were saying with Derrick Henry, and this is something we could talk even more in the 4th quarter about, but it was something that D'Amico Ryan said last week about Nico Collins and Joe Mixon being...
That's the other one, number 3. Gesundheit.
So the 4th quarter of our doubleheader here on Netflix, 31-2. favor of Baltimore. They have done everything right, including Lamar Jackson setting a new career mark, rushing yards from a quarterback. And we'll see how much longer Lamar and company stay in there. Derrick Henry at 131 and a touchdown on 24 carries. Following his 162-yard day against Pittsburgh, he'll add to the tally here, dragged down by his right leg by Hansen. John Harbaugh, it just feels like every year he's got a new coordinator that's moving on to be a head coach, moving on to be maybe someone who is lower on his staff, to be a coordinator elsewhere. He's just a great developer of coaching talent.
And it's really been over the last couple of years on both sides of the ball. I mean, we talked earlier about that transition from Greg Roman and that style earlier in Lamar's career to Todd Monken and more of a traditional drop-back style, and how seamless that whole process has gone.
Henry, first down across the 35.
And then you think about what happened this past season on the defensive side of the ball. Of course, Mike McDonald, he moves on. He's now the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. But Denard Wilson, Anthony Weaver, all these guys move on to become defensive coordinators around the league. So you're trying to replace not only your coordinator and get Zach Orr, the new D coordinator, rolling, but a lot of position coaches now that need to be filled. So it took him a little while, but I'm not sure if there's been a better coach at identifying coaching talent and developing them on his staff over the years than John Harbaugh.
First set of downs, and the handoff for Keaton Mitchell will disappear in the final of the line of scrimmage. Rasheen Ali, who was someone who came in relief of Justice Hill last week when he went out with a concussion, is now out the rest of this game with an injury. Rookie out of Marshall. You've seen Keaton Mitchell get in there a lot more and began the season on the physically unable to perform list with a knee injury. Has been working his way back through the season. And they're happy to have him back these last couple of weeks. They believe he can provide a nice spark. Second-year man out of ECU. Second and 9. It is a handoff. And nowhere to go for Mitchell. As they did this past Saturday, the Ravens and the Texans players wearing a festive holiday-inspired uniform patch as a part of a new tradition being dubbed the NFL Holiday Remix. Again, I feel like we missed the ball on this. Maybe we could have done something with our suits
Or like a big brooch.
Yeah.
Is that what they call them?
That's the word.
That's right.
That's correct.
If it's not, we're just going to go with it.
Well, what did I say before? Trust your gut.
Yeah, trust my gut. Yeah, kind of a missed opportunity. Maybe next time.
Yeah, we'll be better next time. Nothing that Baltimore's offense could really be much better about to this point. Let's see if they can convert this 3rd and 10. It's a quick screen to the outside for Wallace, and he'll pick up 3. So they'll boot it back to this Houston offense 3 minutes into this 4th quarter. Lamar Jackson with another completion. The craziest part maybe of all of this today, you feel like he's dominated this game, and yet he's got 4 carries, and he's only thrown the ball 15 times in the game. It's pretty insane to think what he's done production-wise with such limited actual opportunity, so to speak. And yet he has been unblemished once again. 116.
Happy New Year!
On the ground, 3 total touchdowns with Jordan Stout out for his 3rd punt of the day. Good pressure, nearly blocked. Stout did get hit on the back end, but he did have a landing zone first, so no flag in. Fair catch brought in by Robert Wood, shy of the 25. Baltimore is going to put themselves 1 game away from claiming the AFC North. Dominic here today. Game Day is presented by Progressive. Coverage you can count on. By Coca-Cola. Share holiday magic. And by Acura. Precision crafted performance. Well, it's great to see horse and carriage. I wasn't sure that they had it around here. Very available in case you really want to get after it later tonight.
Did you take one while you were here?
No, but I feel like another missed opportunity there.
It's been, I think for all of us in the building, it's been a day of missed opportunities. Let's just, the booth, the field, a lot of missed opportunities everywhere you look.
Stroud stays in there for this drive from the 22. He's going to dial up the deep ball down the sideline. Incomplete. Looking for Collins with Stevens deep in coverage, and we check in with Jamie.
It was 8 years ago, Christmas
Newsflash, Gordon.
Linebacker for the Ravens suffered an injury in the game, a herniated disc. He saw doctors next week, and experts told him, you need to stop playing football immediately. They had discovered a congenital spine condition. He was having an explosive third year with this Ravens defense. He was an undrafted guy. Zach Gore was forced to retire from football a month later. Harbaugh hired him that summer as a defensive assistant in 2017, and now Christmas Day 2024, guys, he's the defensive coordinator of this team.
Pretty remarkable rise for Zach Gore as Lamar Jackson coasted towards the locker room for Baltimore. And a spin down by Board. The one thing that from our meetings with Baltimore this week stood out in terms of Zach Gore and his development, you know, you talk about Dean Pease coming in, being a mentor for him, a longtime defensive coordinator. It's his first year as a DC, so a learning curve there. But it felt like Kyle Hamilton put it right, where he met with the team about midway through the season. He said, look, guys, I know I was a linebacker coach last year. I was cool. You guys liked having me around. It's a little different this year. I'm still cool, but just not quite in the same light as what you really got to know me as the last couple of seasons. 3rd and 2 for Stroud, and incomplete. And this goes back to just in the last year, showcasing what John Harbaugh is capable of in terms of development of coaches.
You kind of take for granted. You say, okay, Mike Macdonald, you move on. We'll just promote from within Zach Gore, and we'll hit the ground running. But in the NFL, brain drain is real, right? It happens to a lot of offensive-minded coaches. You think of what's gone on out in L.A. with Sean McVay and the amount of coaches that he's lost to go on to be head coaches or play callers. And here in Baltimore, it's happening recently on the defensive side of the ball.
Another punt from Townsend. The 6th of the day, and a former Texan, Steven Sims, will look to return this one from the 10. Stiff arm on Boyd, not going to do it. Lost the ball at the end, but he was down by contact first. 61-yard punt, 2-yard return from Sims. Santa, Mrs. Claus. Oh, love is in the air. It's Love Actually in Houston.
Promotional giveaway.
aerial coverage is presented by Ford. Nightfall in Houston, NRG Stadium on Christmas evening. Lamar Jackson, 255 total yards, 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry got them rolling. He has continued that, and they have not looked back. Josh Johnson in the game for
3
Lamar.
points in the fountain.
Mitchell in the backfield with him. Handed off for Mitchell, and he will wiggle his way across the 15 to the 17. Well, this was a couple moments ago. We saw Lamar Jackson go in towards the locker room when Jamie was giving us a report. He then takes this pseudo chain from a fan, and then check this out. Wristband, and yeah, how about a nice little soft toss beanie to the kid wearing the Lamar jersey. That's a Christmas to remember.
I mean, look at that face.
Yes.
Smiling. Mom gets a hug. And Lamar's making a lot of people's day here. And obviously a lot of conversation around that MVP. And it seems like it's going to come down to him and Josh Allen. And I don't get a vote, but that's not an easy one.
No, it is not. As Mitchell will move the sticks here. Just without Jamie.
No, it's not just the child that he made happy. There was a grown man who actually handed him a necklace prop and asked him to sign it. Not that Lamar Jackson has that kind of time during a game, but he just took it with him.
Shippy did. Shippy did.
Like Lamar Jackson, the potential third-time MVP, just took my necklace prop. So everyone was thrilled down here.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. Did you have a go-to move when you saw a fan with your jersey?
I'll tell you what, man. I'm a beanie guy. That kid's not going to take off that beanie forever, ever. He's going to go to bed in that thing tonight, and can't blame him.
Well, listen, if he's anything like me, he's going to believe if he does sleep in it, he's going to wake up and beat Lamar.
Exactly right.
It's going to be like a crazy version of Ted somehow. Here's Lamar with that chain. You can see, look at that. Jamie is just right in the line of vision. Lamar unfazed, and now just spread the sugar a little bit.
How great is that?
That's awesome.
That's incredible. Hey, listen, there is nothing better as a starter. When the game's out of reach, it's a holiday, you're feeling good. We stayed at the same hotel as the Ravens here in Houston, and it feels like every family member of the Ravens made the trip here to Houston.
Looks like it's going to be a hold against the Ravens.
Like maybe offsides.
I can promise you, those guys are standing on the sideline. They're feeling good. This is going to be a fun flight home for this Baltimore Ravens squad as they look forward to closing out the season next week and starting their playoff run.
Offside, number 95, defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
Derek Barnett called for
Coffee grinder.
John Harbaugh did make sure that they were taken care of with a Christmas dinner before they made their way to Houston.
How about that menu?
That was unbelievable. Tomahawk, Wagyu, lobster. Jamie, you got more on that?
That is not just a no. The meal was probably delicious, and we all appreciated that. But this kid, I'm obsessed with the kid that Lamar Jackson gave the hat to. He's gonna be 8 in January, guys. He flew here from Jacksonville, Florida, with his mom. That is Shaquille Johnson Jr. That is his mom, Shay. And as you can imagine, he is going to sleep and fly home. And
Yeah.
Statement will be made. Derrick Henry will get that first down. Well, these two teams are going to wrap it up here. Sunday, the NFL on CBS slate features Aaron Rodgers and the Jets on the road against Josh Allen Bills. Live coverage begins at noon Eastern. Now that's a CBS Sports Sunday. So Lamar done for the day in all likelihood. It would take something crazy to happen here. His final numbers, 116 through the year, 87 on the ground, 3 total touchdowns, set the all-time quarterback NFL rushing record with the 87 yards. He needed 86 coming in to pass Vic. And another victory on the board for Baltimore to move to 11-5 on the season as Mitchell will get pushed backward at 35.
So I think now the question for D'Amico Ryan and this Houston Texans team is, what's the message in the locker room after the game, right? You have the combination of they've already secured the division, so they're going to host a playoff game here.
Open invitation.
4 game here in Houston as the 4 seed, and it's now back-to-back losses. Saturday, albeit a close one, to the Kansas City Chiefs. Now here at home against Baltimore. finish up next week against the Titans, who they've already lost to. So they've got to put it together here down the stretch.
Mitchell on the cutback and gets it to the 38. We've been mentioning MVPs, the candidates that we expect to see here. The updated numbers for Lamar Jackson: 43 total touchdowns, nearly over 1,000 yards rushing. He's got nearly 4,000 passing. Josh Allen has been the front runner. The one guy that's not on this list, Greg, that you could put in there, especially if things shake out a certain way, would be Joe Burrow. Cincinnati's still not eliminated from playoff contention. If he finds a way to get them back into the playoffs, he leads the NFL in touchdown passes. He's had a really marvelous season himself. 35. Johnson tosses and completes. Anthony Miller just brought up from the practice squad for the first down.
Nobody loves it more than Lamar Jackson. Opportunity to watch some of these young guys play that don't get a lot of opportunities, and it's got to feel good for Johnson, the backup quarterback, and this whole group, man. These are the days that you live for. These are the games that you always remember, man. Standing on the sideline, hanging with your buddies, knowing you just put together a big-time performance in front of the whole world.
Whistle will blow this one dead, and false start will move it back. Look at the NFC, and you look at the Texans' record. After this game, they should be 9-7, barring a crazy miracle, which would be the craziest of all Christmas miracles, maybe ever. Look at the teams that are involved here. Lions. Texans team played them close. Packers, Texans team played them close. The Vikings is really the only other game that they just completely got blown out in. Every other loss they've had this season, Packers by 2, Jets by 8 on a short week Thursday night, Lions by 3, Titans by 5, Chiefs last week by 8. Those are all one-score games. So aside from this one and the early season matchup in Minnesota, this is a team that has, against the league's best, handled themselves fairly well, and we'll see how that NFC playoff picture eventually finds its way through this last 2-week stretch, especially for the NFC North. That is going to be fascinating.
And it's just incredible that in one division to produce 3 teams having that level of success. And you brought up the Texans' ability to play a lot of these top playoff teams pretty close. And we just saw them, and you saw it live in action against Kansas City just last Saturday.
Big hit by Phillips on Keaton Mitchell. Celebrate the NBA on Christmas Day with star-studded matchup featuring LeBron James and the Lakers, Steph Curry and the Warriors at 8 Eastern, and Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets against the Phoenix Suns, trying to find that early form from the beginning of this season. 10:30 tonight on ESPN and ABC. 10th play of this Josh Johnson orchestrated drive, a guy who's played for 14 different NFL teams, the most in league history. That's incredible. 14. I mean, think about all the jerseys that you have of yourself, right? You hang them up in your house. He's got the full rainbow. And he delivers a rainbow, but Tez Walker could not reel it in.
It's like that picture of Josh McCown.
Right.
Where all of his kids and all of his kids' friends at their high school are wearing like all the million jerseys that he's worn throughout his career. Well, that's a really good deep ball. I mean, that's a play. Tez Walker, the rookie from North Carolina, I mean, gets an opportunity to get some action here, and they decide to air it out on 3rd and long, and probably a ball he needs to catch.
Jordan Stout, 4th punt of the day. Pin 2 inside the 20 of his first 3. We'll look to do it one more time here with Woods back. And let it sail over his head and into the end zone. Woods delivered quite the hit. Well, Derrick Henry, what a season it's been, his first year in Baltimore. And again, that first quarter was ridiculous. He had 10 carries for 86 yards, but just productive, 5.5 yards per carry, the touchdown to get the scoring started today. The fit has been, as we talked about, remarkably impressive. But the one thing that John Harbaugh said, he said not enough people gave him credit for how he could adapt to us, not us adapting to him. Mills in the game for Houston. Damian Pierce, the running back. So likely the end of the day for both C.J. Stroud and Joe Mixon. And Mills on the give. Pierce for 2.
When you think back to our open, coming onto the broadcast, and we're kind of comparing, all right, the matchup of the day is this Baltimore offense and this Houston Texans defense. And the question you posed was, how do you stop a team that is so good at everything? And I think the plan going in was you have to limit the explosive natures. Of course, that's been the story of the game. Run, pass. Just Houston had no answers for stopping these competitive plays, and that's going to be the recipe come playoff time. If you're going to beat these Ravens, especially if you got to go on the road, they end up winning their division. We'll see how that race ends up, but if you don't find a way to put a lid on the explosive nature of this offense, you're not going to keep up. And unless you're able to get into a 30, 40-point shootout with them, somebody's got to crack that code, because they're on a historic streak as far as generating big plays.
They've been among the hottest teams in the NFL over the last several weeks. And since their bye week, week 14, last 2 games, 35-14 win at New York Giants. First down throw from Davis Mills is brought in by Woods. And 34-17 win last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers, as it brings us to the 2-minute warning. Lamar Jackson, a Merry Christmas indeed for the 2-time MVP, C.J. Stroud, or frustration.
Is the season to be jolly, fa la la la.
After the game, we'll bring you interviews with the winning team, and the Christmas Game Day MVPs will be announced. They'll be receiving Netflix custom Christmas coats and game balls. This was earlier today. First win went to Kansas City, and you had Patrick and Travis both with the coat, and then the ball, and oh wait, is that a ball? It's cake! Is it cake? Yes. Travis looked like, yep, take a bite. That was a hearty one at that.
He's the perfect guy for that.
That was beautiful. What was it, red velvet?
He's going to own that moment.
Pierce will get it across the 35 to 36.
I think Jamie actually got a sample of it yesterday during rehearsal. I mean, be curious what her feedback was.
Yeah, you want a full scale rating. Out of of 10. Jamie, do you have a rating?
Well, here's the thing. Yesterday, when I bit into the football cake, it may have just come out of the refrigerator. It's a little chilled. Now this one's been in the humidity, the Texas heat for the game. Guys, it just might be a little bit more supple, which I know people hate that word, so Merry Christmas.
Wow. Yeah, you went for it. It could have been worse. You could have used the word moist. So,
You just used it.
Again, I'll be better next time. Minute 15 to play, and Pierce will pick up another yard. Lead us to what is likely the final play of the day. Baltimore got a nice early window win from the Chiefs that clinched the 1 seed in the AFC for Kansas City. It also put Baltimore back in the driver's seat for the AFC North. As Pittsburgh lost, it allows for the Ravens to win out and host that first playoff game in all likelihood, and now certainly based on the record. Whoever does not win that division will be the wild card, and we'll head here to Houston to take on the Texans. The Texans team is searching for answers.
Oh, Ravens won. Yeah.